Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to cut through all the noise and really demystify the practice of meditation. Our goal? To unlock what it actually means to find that inner freedom. So let's jump right in.
Okay, so let's be honest. If you've ever felt just a little bit lost in the world of meditation, you are so not alone. You hear these words all the time, right? Mindfulness, meditation, emptiness, and you're kind of left wondering, what do they all mean? How do they even fit together?
And this quote, well, it just nails it. It gets right to the heart of the problem. If we're confused about what the practice even is, how can we possibly succeed at it? So today, our entire goal is to slice right through that confusion and give you a really clear, practical path forward.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to clear up all those confusing names. Then we'll walk step by step through a 5-part process, starting with physically anchoring yourself, then going inward, and finally using new anchors for your awareness. We'll also get super clear on the ultimate goal of the whole practice, and we'll wrap up with some amazing, practical advice for anyone on this path.
All right, first up, let's talk about these labels. The main thing to get here is actually really simple. What you call it is way, way less important than the fact that you actually do it. You can call it mindfulness, meditation. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. And this breakdown here is just fantastic for translating these kind of complex, old-school terms into ideas we can actually use. So what was traditionally called higna, that's just emptiness or inner freedom. What we think of as meditation, it's really an awareness practice. And asana, that's not just a fancy yoga pose, it's about physical anchoring. Pratyahara, that's just the inner shift of your attention. See? They're just different words pointing to the exact same things.
So you see where this is going. The most crucial point is this. It doesn't matter what you call it. The only thing that truly matters is that you do it. Knowing about it is fine, but the real change happens when you actually experience it.
Okay, so now let's get into the how. Step 1 is the absolute foundation for everything else that comes after. Physical anchoring. It's all about grounding yourself right here, right now, in your own body.
The traditional term for this is asana, which, literally just means to be seated. The whole point isn't just to sit still for the sake of it. It's to get your body steady, because a steady body really helps create a steady mind. This is what gets you ready for those deeper states we're aiming for. And I just love this way of visualizing it. It's so helpful. Think of your awareness as the anchor and your body as the boat. The very first step is to drop that anchor, your awareness, firmly into the physical reality of your body. Why? Because it stops you from just drifting away on that endless sea of thoughts.
So, how do you actually do this? It's way simpler than it sounds. Just start by being aware of where you're sitting. Notice your position, your posture. Can you feel the alignment of your spine? Good. Now just observe whatever physical sensations are there, and this is key, without judging them. You're just using your body as a tool to bring your awareness right back here, to this moment.
Okay, so you're physically anchored. What's next? Well, steps 2 and 3 are all about taking that awareness and turning it inward, shifting your focus from the world outside to the world inside you.
So step 2 is this inner shift. The traditional name is pratyahara. This is where you consciously pull your mind away from all the sounds and distractions out there and you turn it toward what you're feeling on the inside. Then step 3 builds on that. We call it mental detachment. This is where you start to notice that there's a difference between the observer, which is you, your awareness, and the observed, all your thoughts and feelings. You learn to just watch them come and go without getting carried away by them.
And here are 2 really powerful ways to picture this. For that inner shift, imagine your mind is a river, just flowing along. Your job is just to rest your awareness on the bank and watch it go by. Then, for mental detachment, picture your thoughts like clouds passing through this huge, unchanging sky. And remember, you are the sky, not the clouds.
So what happens when watching that river of thoughts gets kind of hard and your mind starts to wander all over the place? Well, that brings us to steps 4 and 5, which are basically 2 classic tools to help you anchor your awareness and find that inner stillness.
Step 4 is using a mantra, something like Om Shanti. Now, it's really important to understand this isn't some kind of magic spell. It's just a practical tool. It gives your busy mind a single point to focus on. Then there's step 5, breath awareness. Your breath is always with you, right? And it's always happening in the present moment. That makes it the perfect anchor to come back to again and again whenever you get distracted.
Let's try to visualize these too. Think of your mantra as a little boat on the huge ocean of your awareness.
When your attention drifts, you just gently guide it back to the boat. Simple. And your breath? Think of your breath as a bridge. Every single inhale and exhale is like taking a step across that bridge, leading you right back to the calm shore of the present moment.
So, where is all this actually leading? What's the point? What's the goal here? Well, that brings us to maybe the single most misunderstood idea in this whole practice: emptiness.
Now listen, this is so important. Emptiness is not nothingness. It's not some scary, dark void. It is simply the state of pure, resting awareness itself. You can think of it as the silent, peaceful background that is always there, underneath all the changing layers of your body, your thoughts, and your emotions.
And here's the last, really beautiful metaphor that ties it all together. If your thoughts are the clouds, and your awareness is the sun that lights them up, then emptiness is the sky itself. It's that vast, open space where everything happens. It's always there, whether it's full of stormy clouds or it's perfectly clear.
Okay, so that's all the theory, but what about the messy reality of actually trying to do this stuff? What do you do when you inevitably get distracted? Our final section has some incredibly practical advice for that exact moment. This has to be the #1 question, right? My mind just will not be quiet. It's always wandering off. What am I supposed to do? And the process is so simple, and most importantly, it's not about judging yourself. First, just notice that your mind has wandered. Where did it go? That simple act of noticing is you becoming aware again. You're already back. And what you'll find is, as soon as that happens, the mind naturally starts to slow down. From there, you just gently guide your focus back to your anchor, your body, your breath, whatever you were using. No struggle, no blaming yourself, just a gentle return.
And this all leads us to a final, really profound piece of advice. If you try to start this practice by fighting with your mind, you're just setting yourself up for a struggle. Our minds are already so busy, so full. So instead, start with the body. Ground yourself in physical reality first. When you do that, you give your mind the space it needs to settle down all on its own.
You know, we started with a bunch of confusion, and hopefully we've ended with some real clarity. We've defined the terms, we've walked through the steps, we've clarified the goal. The map is officially in your hands. So the only question left is, are you ready to begin?